I have to keep moving my chair forward because I'm getting rained on. So, in the opening pages, Nietzsche gives us his formula for happiness. It's not about peace and contentment, but instead it's about overcoming obstacles, overcoming resistance, and enhancing your own power. A scathing critique of Christianity, which he was doing for his whole career. What was Nietzsche's beef with Christianity? He saw Christianity and Christian morality as life-denying. He saw it as having values that were against life. Increase your testosterone and journal. Create your own morality, create your own values. It's my birthday. This book belongs to the most rare of men. Perhaps not one of them is yet alive. Even to endure my seriousness, my passion, he must carry intellectual integrity to the verge of hardness. He must be accustomed to living on mountaintops and to looking upon the wretched gabble of politics and nationalism as beneath him. He must have become indifferent. He must never ask of the truth whether it brings profit to him or a fatality to him. He must have an inclination, born of strength, for questions that no one has the courage for. Of that sort only are my readers, my true readers. Of what account are the rest? The rest are merely humanity. One must make oneself superior to humanity in power, in loftiness of soul, in contempt. Friedrich W. Nietzsche. All right, I hope I can get this done before it starts to rain. The Antichrist by Friedrich Nietzsche, a book review. So The Antichrist was written in 1888. It was one of his last books. The final book he wrote was his autobiography, Ecce Homo, which is just talking about his works. It's not really it's a standalone work on its own with a core concept. Alright, I'm not gonna let a little bit of rain stop me from making this. But actually I plan to go to different places in Pula and record little snippets. I want to go to the playground that I used to skin my knees every day in when I was 4 years old. It was across the street from my house. I can't even picture what the building looks like where I grew up here. So my mom sent me the address where we used to live. It's very close to here. So I want to go there. I think I have to wait for the rain to pass. Let's just go and get into this book review. The Antichrist was one of Nietzsche's last books and represents the culmination of his ideas. It's his most mature philosophy. Zarathustra was sort of a flop, even though that's his masterpiece, but in his age, they didn't show Zarathustra the love it deserved. So he kept writing more books. He wrote Beyond Good and Evil after Zarathustra to articulate further these concepts. And then in the Antichrist, this was pretty much the final form of his mature philosophy. He wrote the Antichrist for future generations. He was speaking to an audience that wasn't born yet. He was speaking to a modern day audience. I have to keep moving my chair forward because I'm getting rained on. So in the opening pages, Nietzsche gives us his formula for happiness. It's not about peace and contentment, but instead it's about overcoming obstacles, overcoming resistance, and enhancing your own power. A continuation of his idea of self-overcoming. All these things are literally in the first few pages. First, let me read the quote that was my Instagram bio for a long time. Right now, my Instagram bio is just a little pin that says Pula with an emoji that looks remarkably similar to the Temple of Augustus. That would be an epic background. I mean, this is nice, the Pula Arena, but the Temple of Augustus, oof. So many well-preserved Roman monuments. All right, so let me read this. He's talking about who he's writing the book for. This book belongs to the most rare of men. Perhaps not one of them is yet alive. It is possible that they may be among those who understand my Zarathustra. How could I confound myself with those who are now sprouting ears? First, the day after tomorrow must come for me. Some men are born posthumously. My true readers, my readers foreordained, of what account are the rest? The rest are merely humanity. And then here comes the quote that I love so much. One must make oneself superior to humanity in power, in loftiness of soul, in contempt. That hits hard. I feel like one of these free spirits that he's writing for. There's always been something inside me that just wants to strive for greatness, like what Elon Musk is doing, trying to get people on Mars, launching rockets, revolutionizing cars. And I think this is what Nietzsche was talking about. I think Elon Musk is a great modern day example of Nietzsche's philosophy of overcoming resistance and advancing our species forward, advancing society and civilization forward. Make yourself superior to humanity. Ascend above humanity. And then in the very next page, he writes about the Hyperboreans, which are people who live in the north, in the mountains, above the rest of the humans. And he says, the formula for our happiness: a ye, a nay, a straight line, a goal. And I think Nietzsche was trying to give us a goal with his philosophy. The last part, what is good? Whatever augments the feeling of power, the will to power, power itself in man. What is evil? Whatever springs from weakness. What is happiness? The feeling that power increases, that resistance is overcome. Hey, you know what makes you want to overcome resistance? High testosterone. So this is a practical way to embody Nietzsche's philosophy. Increasing your testosterone naturally. It's unhealthy to do it I mean, a little bit of TRT when you're older makes sense, but a young man shouldn't be taking steroids. Okay, this rain is getting crazy. I have to take this inside. Much warmer in here. All right, so the Antichrist. Where's my book? Hold on. Here she is. It's like 100 pages. But as you guys know, Nietzsche is famous for his arrogant saying that he writes more in one sentence than other philosophers or writers write in a whole book, and more than they don't write as well. But yeah, it's so cool to be in my birthplace on my birthday. Life is beautiful. I found a really good restaurant, and I think it's gonna stop raining, so I'm just gonna walk there so I can just take in my hometown and break my fast with a glass of red wine like I like to do. I don't recommend you do that. I'm just weird like that. The best way to break a fast is to drink bone broth. Have like some ramen soup or pho, anything with beef broth, bone broth. It has collagen and gelatin. This is the best way. And don't eat too much to start. So, the Antichrist. Written in 1888, his last book, his mature philosophy, a scathing critique of Christianity, which he was doing for his whole career. What was Nietzsche's beef with Christianity? He saw Christianity and Christian morality as life-denying. He saw it as having values that were against life. One of the core values of Christianity is pity. Feeling pity and having pity as a value it goes against life, and it goes against excellence and self-overcoming. I was having issues with the focus on this camera. I'm hoping it's focusing on me. I have it on autofocus because it's a pain in the ass to set up the manual. All right, I gotta stop tinkering with the setup here. This lighting should be fine. I see so many parallels between Nietzsche's philosophy and self-improvement. At the core of his project is the reevaluation of values. He wants us to shed unhealthy, unnatural values that traditional morality, specifically Christian morality, imposes on society. In the book, he just goes off on Christianity and traditional morals, Christian values. The weak, oppressed people came up with these ideas, with this type of morality, so they could guilt their masters. This is the way that they got power over their masters, because they were weak. So they had to invent this new way of seeing the world that stems from their resentment against the strong, against the masters, against the nobility, the aristocracy. So he tears down Christianity as a weak person's life philosophy, a life-denying philosophy. And he wants us to shed that and create our own values. So Christian dogma, it tells you this is the way you should look at the world. God created the earth. Jesus died for your sins. These are the facts. This is the objective truth. And this is what you should believe. Relativists come along and say, actually, no. Every way of seeing the world is equally valid. It's not only that this specific Christian belief is valid, but every type of belief is equally valid. So that's like the next step. But Nietzsche argues for us to move beyond relativism. We should have absolute core beliefs and be absolutist about our values, but it shouldn't be imposed on us by a religion, or people thousands of years ago shouldn't be imposing their values onto us today. We should create our own values. We should create our own morality and be absolutist about that. He emphasizes the importance of ascending beyond religious dogma, ascending beyond traditional morality, beyond conventional norms, and to be individualistic. He also preached about the benefits of solitude. Solitude is great because you get some space away from other people, from the herd. Because Christian belief is a herd morality, as he says. These Christian values, they're good for everyone, like compassion, charity, pity, meekness. You don't want values of strength and vitality and power, because that's not good for everyone. That's just good for the individual. But those are the values that we should have, so we can have these higher types that push civilization forward. Strength, vitality, affirming life, affirming this life, not just trying to be a good little boy so I can go into heaven, into the afterlife, which is the real world, and then just denying this world. If you take Christianity and Christian morals and values if you take it seriously and live by those values, what does that life look like? It's not a life where you're overcoming challenges and facing adversity and trying to better yourself and master yourself. It's not about self-mastery and improvement and progressing and becoming stronger and more powerful. It's not about embracing life and embracing passion and celebrating life. It's not about those things. Those are the things we need. That's the kind of society we need to have. Not this society of weakness and meekness and pity. That's not the society that is gonna push us forward. Nietzsche thinks the point of humanity is to be a bridge to the overhuman, the Ubermensch. And Christian morals, traditional morality and values stands in the way of that. It hinders humanity's ability to create these higher types of man that ascends above humanity and has some greater goal. Just look at all the people who try to hold Elon Musk back from doing what he's trying to do. It's like a crab in the bucket mentality. The herd, the sheep, the common folk, they despise the master morality. They're resentful of it. I think the camera's dying and I need a little bit of battery life to get some shots of my beautiful hometown for like an intro or something. But I think an actionable step I can give you before I go, I'll give you a few actionable steps. And I'm speaking to men, and I'm sorry if I don't take women into account in this. I believe women have a natural purpose in life. I think a woman's natural purpose is to make more life. It's to continue the species. And I think a man doesn't have a natural purpose. I think he has to create and build his purpose. And the general version of that purpose is to push humanity forward, is to contribute something to society that advances society in some way, to improve life for other people. For me personally, my plan is to build myself as a man, to increase my power, my intellect, improve my health, mental health, physical health, and then eventually building of communities, organizing people, some kind of mission. Like Elon Musk has his rockets, his mission is to put people on Mars. I don't know if I'm that ambitious, but something on a smaller level, something more localized. His ambition is regarding all the human race and the whole like solar system. Maybe I can do something in Pula, my hometown. Organize people to build something, to fix something, to improve something. But actionable step number one, in order to integrate into this philosophy that Nietzsche gives us of self-overcoming, of overcoming resistance, increase your testosterone. Eat a high-fat, high-protein diet, exercise, don't smoke, don't drink alcohol, and above all else, the best way to increase your testosterone is to get quality sleep, deep sleep, REM sleep. I just ordered some glycine and magnesium threonate. I use a sleep mask. I tape my mouth shut at night so I breathe through my nose. I have a nighttime routine where I turn off screens. I turn all the lights red in my home. I have a cold bedroom. What else? Research on how to improve your sleep, because this will improve your testosterone and this will make life easier. It makes suffering feel good. It makes pain less painful. It makes you have the motivation to do these things, to conquer life. So that's my actionable step number one, is to increase your testosterone. And number two is to work on your mental health, improve your mental health. I guarantee you every problem you have in your life in some way stems back to poor mental health. What does this look like? Meditating every day for 10 to 20 minutes. I do 15 minutes now. Thing that I learned recently is a journaling protocol that I was naturally doing without even knowing that this is like scientifically proven to work. You write about a negative experience, a traumatic experience, and just recall the emotions that you felt, recall the emotions that you feel now thinking about it, and make any kind of connections to other things, and do this multiple times during multiple sessions about the same experience. And over time, you'll see that what you're writing gets closer and closer to the truth. It should be becoming more and more honest. This is a great way to reframe some traumatic or stressful event that happened in your life. This journaling protocol improves mental health, and it even improves physical health. It boosts your immune system somehow. I don't know the exact science behind it, but I trust Andrew Huberman when he says this. And I know for me personally, I've been journaling, especially when negative events happen in my life, and I journal a lot about it. It helps me so much. Like, I feel actually stronger and better for that negative thing happening after journaling about it. Increase your testosterone and journal. Shed yourself of these ancient, life-denying beliefs and dogmas. Create your own morality, create your own values. It's my birthday. That's my birthday gift to you guys. All right, guys, peace. Not contentment, but more power. Not peace at any price, but war. Not virtue, but efficiency. Virtue in the Renaissance sense, virtu, virtue free of moral acid. The weak and the botched shall perish, first principle of our charity, and one should help them to it. What is more harmful than any vice? Practical sympathy for the botched and the weak, Christianity.